Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Gids, and today I thought I would share some of my most recent fragrance purchases with you all. These are fragrances I've purchased over the last couple of months. I'm very glad that I added them to my collection because I love each one of them very, very much. So without further ado, I will get straight into the first one. Oh, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, then please do consider subscribing. I'm Gids and I make a lot of fragrance videos. I do some vlogs and fashion as well. Okay, so if you guys have watched my most recent vlog, you would have seen that I went to Oromonde and I picked up a fragrance, and I said I would show you guys the one that I picked up. So it was this one from Oromonde. I don't know if you could see because it's quite sunny, but this is called Ambre Royale, and this is the bestseller from the line. I didn't buy it because it was the bestseller. I bought it because it was the one I just gravitated towards the most. So this is a amber heavy fragrance. It's got some nice floral notes, it's got some green notes, and it's got this kind of nice musky undertone to the fragrance as well. I cannot stop wearing this fragrance, guys. Can you see I've already put that much of a dent in the fragrance, and I've not even had this a month. So I'm really glad I got it in the bigger size because I have a lot of fragrances and I was like, do I really need to get the 120 ml? Because it does come in a 50 ml. But the difference between the 50 and the 120 ml was something like £50. And I had a voucher towards this. So I just thought, you know what, I love the fragrance and I can see myself wearing this. So yeah, I'm absolutely loving this fragrance. I just can't stop reaching for it, which is why there's quite a chunky dent in this fragrance. It's just really green, it's really fresh, but not too green. It's got a bit of sweetness. It's got a nice osmanthus note in the fragrance as well. I adore this fragrance so, so much. So that's the first one I picked up, Ambre Royale from Oromonde. Also, I've got a lot of samples from this house as well. So I will probably do a more in-depth review of this fragrance and also some of the samples I got as well. Okay, keep it moving. The next fragrance is my first Initio. This is Oud For Greatness. I had this on my wish list for quite some time, for at least a year and a bit. And it's one I kept coming back to and thinking, should I add this to my collection? Should I not? Eventually this came up for a good price. There was a discount on this fragrance that I got on an authentic website called Essential. They were doing a 25% off all fragrances. And I saw that they now stock Initio fragrances and Parfum de Marly as well. So I thought, you know what, let me use this opportunity to purchase this fragrance as a treat to self. And I'm really glad I did. So this is obviously an oud fragrance. It's very loved in the community amongst, you know, niche lovers, etc. Some people hate it and think it's overpriced. I really love this fragrance. So this is an oud with some nutmeg, some saffron. It's got some patchouli in it and some musk as well. It is a really beautiful, kind of clean, dry, easy to wear oud with a lot of power behind it. So this fragrance, this I couldn't believe. I wore this to work and I just sprayed a couple of sprays and people were telling me at work they could smell me all around the building at work. So I mean, if you like your powerful fragrances and you like your ouds and you like wearable ouds, check out Oud For Greatness. And if you have this fragrance, do let me know your thoughts on it because I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm glad I got this in my collection. This is Oud For Greatness from Initio. The next one is my first Zurjoff. This I purchased a little while back. This is Erba Pura. This is a fruity fragrance. Now this one, I'm looking forward to wearing this predominantly in summer. It's a very kind of happy, uplifting fragrance. So this is really about kind of those nice, bright, fresh fruits. So you have things like melon, you've got pineapple in this. You've probably got like passion fruit, mango, all those kind of, you know, exotic fruits, which kind of make it sweet and playful. But you've also got a nice vanilla, some musky notes and probably some woody notes in the fragrance as well. So I am loving this fragrance and everything about Zurjoff just feels so luxurious. I mean, this bottle is absolutely stunning. I think this is my favorite fragrance bottle in my whole collection. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying this beautiful fragrance. So this is another one I added to my collection, Erba Pura from Zurjoff. Okay, the next one comes from a house which I'm not that familiar with. This is called Thomas Kosmala and the fragrance is called Number 4 Après la mort, which means after love. I love that. And okay, Elephant in the room, this does smell like Baccarat Rouge 540. And I know every time you say a fragrance smells like a very popular fragrance, people then think, well, why would you get a fragrance which smells like a fragrance that you already have? Good question. The reason I added this is quite simple. I really like this fragrance. I find this a bit more fresher, and so it has some nice kind of citruses in the fragrance. It's got a nice bitter orange note in it as well. And it is still musky. There is a lot of ambroxan in the fragrance, which obviously is what helps it to last a very long time on skin and on clothes. But I just find this one I can actually smell, and I find it's just a bit more fresher and therefore easier to wear than Baccarat Rouge 540. I still think Baccarat Rouge 540 is a great fragrance. The only issue with that one is I slightly go nose blind to it. So I do go anosmic to BR 540. But this one I can actually smell all day. It lasts a really long time. So number 4, Après la mort, from the house of Thomas Kosmala. The next one is from the Merchant of Venice. I'm really glad I added this one to my collection. So I had a little small version of this fragrance. I think it was like maybe 10 ml, and I used it up. Now this is called Andalusian Soul. This is a sweet rum, vanilla, kind of boozy fragrance. I mean, the bottle is stunning as well of this fragrance. This is the Merchant of Venice is a very underrated niche house, in my opinion. I know there are so many brands that you could say are underrated, but I really do think the Merchant of Venice has such elegant fragrances, and everything they do as a brand is really, really well thought out. But yeah, this one I'm really loving. It's very kind of sweet and warm. It's quite deep. It's almost quite velvety at the same time. It's got these nice sort of textures to it. So it's got even a bit of labdanum, which gives it a smoky edge. It's sweet. I love rum in fragrances, so it gives it that nice boozy touch, but it also has some acacia, and I think it's got some rosemary and thyme, which gives it a slight bit of greenness, just a slight amount. So it's a very interesting and complex fragrance. It's not just your typical sweet, boozy vanilla type of fragrance. There are a lot of lovely nuances. So I'm really glad I have Andalusian Soul in my collection, and yeah, loving this fragrance. Final fragrance comes from, I'm gonna pronounce this correctly. This is Ermenegildo. Okay, Ermenegildo Zegna. Most people just say Zegna, but I like to say the brand correctly. So this is an Italian fashion house. They are a luxury fashion house, and they put out some fragrances, and this one is called Indonesian Oud. Now, yes, another oud fragrance. This is just so beautiful. It just smells so luxurious and so elegant at the same time. So this is another rose oud fragrance, but one which is done so well. You also have some bergamot in the fragrance, some patchouli, and I think there's some musky notes in it as well. This, every time I would go into House of Fraser and smell this fragrance, I was always just sort of captivated. Sadly, they've now kind of changed the bottle of this fragrance, so I guess they might have reformulated the current formula, because this is an eau de toilette, and let me tell you, this really does pack a punch. But they've now turned this into an eau de parfum, and it's in a dark bottle. It might still smell really great. I actually need to go and smell it to see what the new version smells like, but I just love this version. And also, this is 125 ml. The new version is 100 ml. I don't know, but I love this fragrance. It's just a little bit sweet, a little bit animalic, but dry. And then you get the rose, and you get a little bit of freshness from the bergamot. And of course, they're an Italian fashion house. I think it's really clever that, you know, bergamot, which is so prolific in a lot of Italian perfumery, is added in this fragrance, because it just gives it a different dimension for an oud fragrance. Lasts a very long time, it develops beautifully on skin, and it just smells so elegant and so luxurious. So Indonesian Oud from Ermenegildo Zegna. Okay, so guys, those were my recent additions. Do you have any of these fragrances? And if you do, what are your thoughts? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, then do consider subscribing. I will be back to do more videos very soon. And thank you all for watching. Take care.